people, welcome back to Arsenal with Ash. Here to do something a little bit different today. Obviously, we've got the international break currently, so I'm here to discuss my earliest memories as an Arsenal fan. And hopefully, some of you will have a recollection of what I discuss. Some of you might be too young, some of you might have memories that go back further. But yeah, let's get into it. But first, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and yeah, if you like the video, make sure you hit the like. Yeah, but yeah, let's get into it. So I don't want to disclose my age, but I've been an Arsenal fan since the age of when my earliest memory is between 99 and 2002. I'm going to disclose my age. So I was at that age between 5 and 7. 5 and 7? No, 5 and 8. 5 and 8. I was between 5 and 8. And my earliest memory, like my actual earliest memory, is seeing Arsenal in the Dreamcast kit. I don't know if you don't remember that, but we had the Dreamcast kit from 99 to 2002. And I don't have any recollection of games of anything like that, but I just remember that kit, a classic kit, and I think the away kit was Sega. So yeah, we was doing something there. We was really doing something there. But it's funny, yeah, because I looked back at all of this before. I done a little because I couldn't quite get the dates of everything that I'm about to discuss, and I looked back at it, and we had that kit from 99 to 02, yeah. So in that period was the period also Arsene Wenger's the manager. He's just done the double in his first full season. And then yeah, so we get the Dreamcast kit, the Sega kit, and we don't win the league for 3 years. For 3 years. I don't even think we won anything for that in that period of time. So it makes sense why I don't really have any recollection at all of anything throughout that period, apart from what I'm about to discuss next, which is the 2001 FA Cup final. I've got a confession to make. This is the first time I cried about football. I remember this game so well. It was against Liverpool, and it was at the old Millennium Stadium. For those who don't know, the FA Cup final used to be held there while the old Wembley was being rejuvenated into the new Wembley that we've got now. So yeah, the Millennium Stadium used to be where the FA Cup final was held. For a small period of time, I remember we went to my uncle's house. So it was me, my dad, my uncle watching it. I think my mum might have been there as well. And yeah, a young Michael Owen broke my heart into pieces. We were 1-0 up in that game, and then I think he hit us with two quick fire goals, and they won the game 2-1. And that was my first cup final that I was watching live. And yeah, that was the first time I felt pain from football. Yeah, first time, and like I said, I remember it clearly. It's the first time I cried about football. So yeah, at that time I would have been 7, just to be about to turn 8, and yeah, that was serious pain. But yeah, there were some better memories to come on after that. So I'll move on to the next one, which was my first ever live game that I went to. Not first football game. My first football game, I think, was it's a random one. It was a Worthington Cup, which is now obviously called the Carabao Cup. And it was who was in that game? I think it was like Middlesbrough Derby or something. But it's for some strange reason the game was at Craven Cottage. Like I couldn't tell you why. I should actually look into that actually and go back roll back the years for that one. But that was my first football game. But my first Arsenal game, you will never believe it. I'm gonna set the scene for you. So we didn't have no tickets. Yeah. So one Saturday morning, I woke up and it was the usual. So it was April 2002, by the way. So a year after that cup final defeat to Liverpool, we were going for the title. We were going for the double. So yeah, things were looking good for us. But yeah, Saturday morning, woke up. I would have been what 7 years old. 7. My maths is awful. But yeah, 7 years old. And yeah, it was a Saturday morning, I woke up, just the usual. Mum and dad's in there. I'm in my room. Stick the PlayStation 2 on. I think it was at them times. Just playing a bit of that. Then my dad comes in the room, or I go into their room. I can't remember what it was, and he goes, "We're gonna go down Highbury today and see if we can get tickets." I said, "Huh? Highbury? What? Arsenal?" He said, "Yeah, we're gonna go down there, but don't get your hopes up because obviously I'm a kid at this point. My eyes are wide open. I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm going to an Arsenal game." But he's like, "Listen, there's no guarantee we're gonna get tickets, but we're just gonna go down there and see." Because them times you had loads of ticket touts. You still get it now, but people that are selling tickets outside the ground, etc. So you could go down there on a match day and you might get lucky and might get a ticket. But this game was Arsenal versus Tottenham. It was a North London derby. Can you imagine? A North London derby, yeah? And my dad thought, let's go to. When I think about it now, this was the game he picked to think that we can go up there and get a ticket. Yeah, I was thinking, all right, cool. So went down there. I think we was hanging around for a bit before the game, trying to see if anyone's selling tickets. Um, I don't think we was getting much luck. I think it got to a point. The game had actually started, and I think it was like 5-10 minutes into the game, and we were thinking about leaving. Obviously, I've got a sad face. I'm disappointed, thinking, oh, we came all the way here. The boys are playing, and I'm not gonna get to see them. Um, but yeah, someone must have come out of like a turnstile or the area where a turnstile was, and he's like, it was him and it was a man and his boy, and he's saying, he's asking my dad if he wants a ticket. My dad was obviously, yeah, that's what we're here for. So yeah, he's giving us the ticket, and I remember the price because even them times I didn't really know about the value of money, but he was like £20 a ticket for a North London derby. I was like thinking about it now, absolutely mental. He could have easily got £100 each off my dad that day, but £20 each. I can't remember his reason why he wasn't going in there. But yeah, £20 each. Two tickets. We're 10 minutes into the game. Snap his arm off, mate. Absolutely snap his arm off. I'm buzzing. I'm about to go into my first Arsenal game at Highbury, and it's Arsenal against Tottenham, North London derby. It don't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. So I remember we was in the stand. I don't really remember the game if I'm honest with you. The only memory I have of that game is Lauren scoring the winner from the penalty spot. And it's even mad to think that he used to take penalties for us. I'll right back. Them times when we've got the likes of Henri, Bergkamp, Perez, etc. But yeah, he took the pen that day, won us the game 2-1. And yeah, I learned so many Arsenal songs that day. I was on the terraces. I just wanted more after that. I couldn't believe I was at an Arsenal game. It was an amazing feeling. So yeah, that's probably up there with my best memory as an Arsenal fan. So yeah, my first Arsenal game was Arsenal versus Tottenham. Mental. So yeah, that was 0-2. Obviously, after that we went on to win the double. We won the league. Um, and won the FA Cup as well. The league win was at Old Trafford that year, yeah. For you Man United fans, we won the league at your ground. I remember the commentary, Will Todd, yeah, in the Sega gold kit. Um, was it Lundberg or Kanu that jumped over Will Todd? Memorable game, 2-0 away at Old Trafford, won the league. And then the FA Cup final was against Chelsea that year. So obviously this is the year after our first, not our first, but my first cup final, witnessing us lose to Liverpool. We get to the FA Cup final again the next year at home, no, not at home, against Chelsea, and we win that game 2-0. Two screamers, Lundberg and Parler. I remember it clear as day. Them times there, this is like monumental. Like I couldn't believe how lucky I was to have that sort of success, and I probably took it for granted them times because who knew what was to come in the next how many years. But yeah, that was amazing, and I remember we went to the parade for that season. Obviously, we won the double. Went down to Highbury. I remember being on my dad's shoulders. I remember. I think I started a song for the fans. It was the Vieira song. Vieira, woo. And I remember everyone started singing it. I was buzzing, man, proper buzzing. But yeah, that parade was sick. that must have been about, yeah, like I said, about 7, 8 years old. So yeah, amazing memories. So the year before, obviously, I had my first heartbreak. Then I've had the biggest high, and then the next year, 2003, more heartbreak. And this is probably the two times. Actually, there was one other time that I did cry. I'm not gonna lie to you, but there was two times I cried. Yeah, in my childhood about Arsenal, and the first one was obviously that Liverpool FA Cup defeat, but the next one was Leeds. I don't know who remembers that Leeds game. 03, we was in a title race with United, and Leeds came to our place. I think it was May. It would have been 2003. These times they got a proper team though. They got Harry Kewell, they got Mark Viduka, they got Alan. I think they had Alan Smith, or he might have gone United by then. But yeah, they had some ballers, proper team that one, you know. Um, and yeah, they came down to the Emirates, beat us 3-2. I just remember Harry Kewell and Mark Viduka scoring. Harry Kewell's left foot, I think he caught Seaman out on a mad one. And that was the day we pretty much, I think that's the day we lost the title. And that was hard. That was heartache at its finest, mate. Proper heartache. So those two memories, Leeds and Liverpool, yeah, pain in my childhood. Proper pain. But yeah, 3-2 defeat. I think maybe the next year or a couple of years later, we smashed them at Highbury, and I think they got relegated that year or something. So it was a little bit of a get back then, but yeah, they broke my heart that year, 03. But it wasn't as bad as 01 because 03 we then get to another FA Cup final. So there's three FA Cup finals in a row. Yeah, so we had the Liverpool one, obviously we lost. We then had the Chelsea one where we won the double, and then the next year it was Southampton. But before that, in the semi final, yeah, I got to go to another ground and see my club for the first time. Them times there, the FA Cup, the semi final used to be played at Old Trafford and Villa Park. Um, and yeah, like I said, the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff was the stadium for the final. So yeah, we had our game against Sheffield United. It was, I believe it was Sheffield United at Old Trafford, and we managed to get tickets. I don't know how, but me, my dad, my uncle went up there, went up to Manchester. I was buzzing. I remember that day as well. Sun was shining. I remember walking through the car park by Old Trafford. Um, and yeah, obviously, I don't really remember the game too clearly. I remember we obviously won 1-0, and then the David Seaman save, mental save that he managed to claw the ball back from behind him. And we won that game 1-0, went on to the FA Cup final, won that 1-0 against Southampton, and retained our title, which was, that was a great moment. And it helped because obviously we lost the league in the way that I said we lost it to Leeds. But yeah, that was a kind of a bit of a softener of that blow. But yeah, that was a great memory as well. Um, and yeah, those are kind of my earliest memories as a young Arsenal fan. Obviously, the next season we go on to do the Invincible season, and yeah, of course I remember that. I've got so many memories from that season, from us going to Chelsea. I think we won. Was it a 2-1 win there in the league? And then obviously they knocked us out the Champions League. That was pain. That was pain. Um, the Tottenham, I think it was the Tottenham, was it 3-0 that year when Henry went on that mad run? Won the league obviously at Spurs as well. Imagine that. We've gone a whole season unbeaten and then won the league at our rival's stadium. You know how mental that is? Like, actually hear that. We've gone invincible. We've not lost our game the whole league season. And then we go to our old rival Spurs ground and we need a point, and we go there and win the league. Absolute mental. And I remember, yeah, this is how shameless Spurs are, yeah. We obviously went 2-0 up in that game. Last minute they came back 2-2 and they're celebrating like they stopped us winning the league. It's like they didn't even clock that all we needed was a point. I remember it. So they were buzzing with that draw, but lo and behold, the full time whistle goes and it's celebrations because we won the league. And then yeah, we go on to finish the season without a defeat, and history makers. But yeah, those are my earliest memories as an Arsenal fan. Um, Obviously, I then go on to get my season ticket in 07 when we was at the Emirates. But yeah, those were really good times. I remember the parades. obviously this man here made my childhood what it was, absolutely amazing. And this man here obviously put it all together. What a legend. But yeah, both legends, both made my childhood what they were. I remember when I heard that Arsene Wenger was the manager, I was thinking, how is his name Arsene? What, like, is that a thing for managers to have the name of their team? I was so baffled as a youth, thinking, how is this guy's name Arsene and he manages Arsenal? There has to be some reason for that. But yeah, obviously you grow to learn that that's his name, and that's quite a popular name in France as well. Um, but yeah, man, my childhood as an Arsenal fan was wicked. But boy, those moments I had to savor them, because we went years without a trophy after that, and it's only now that we're back to competing for the biggest trophies. And I'm hoping, yeah, my little boy is 6 years old, so he's coming up to that age that I was, and he's into the football now. So it's time for his memories, yeah, at that age, like I had, to so that in how many years' time he can be doing this as well and reminiscing on some good times. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Do you remember any of those times? Where were you? What were your thoughts? What are your earliest memories as well? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, man. It was nice to reminisce and look back at the old times, man, because we were a proper team. But yeah, we're back to that now. Don't worry, the good times are coming, my fans, my fellow Arsenal fans, and yeah, let's hope that more memories are to come. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and yeah, stay tuned.